Testing, testing. All right. All right. Shalom Israel, Shalom Bashim Yashai Brakatham to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashim Yashai to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, so out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. We teach that all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites the Bible speaks of, and Esau, or as you know him as the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now today, as you already know, Sabbath service, all right? The water for everybody who has been continuously tuning in. Your participation, of course, is always appreciated. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. So as the title says, Sabbath service, we're going to be getting started from where we left off last time. Exodus chapter 37 and 20 to Exodus 39 and 8, right? For anybody who's new, it's going to be the usual 49 verses in the Hebrew. We do 7 verses in the Hebrew first, and then we do 7 verses in the English. And then we give the breakdown, then we continue, right? So with that being said, I'm going to call Maidim, which means to rise or stand, and that means just me up here. Okay. La Yasha'ala, which means to or for Israel. Before we begin, Salakia, the prayers, just a quick reminder, brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. For anybody who might have any questions, you see my my headscarf. My head is actually not covered. There is an opening at the top. So again, remember have your heads uncovered. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered when attending class and participating in the prayers. All right, just so everybody is aware. All right, Amadyam Akwanya Hakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakzah, Tabaa, Barzaka, Haya, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Bathalanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Basalaknawa, Kabawathnawa, Basalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Walaa, Lavyanawa, Mansaiwan, Bal, Hawshainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wa'ala, Wa'parath, Lawalamium, Aman. Now in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'usha, Bathalanawa. Hakak, Hakak, Baraba'ah, Call, Makalah, Wakal, Marawah, Hakak, Latahar, Hamadizarayim, Hakah, La'akwayim, Hamathium, Hakah, Al, Rakawath, Batama'ala, Lagarshun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water, Amun. Now in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, power to cleanse lepers, power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. This is Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Bayasha'ala, Baha, Bayasaparim, Barak, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water among. What we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayenya, All, Ahoyim, Mayan, Aba'ah, Azoya, Ba'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Aradazah, Ayadan, Mawat, Wagalka, Yanawam, Shamarka, Panah, Ba'ah, Yanawam, Bala'ah, Yishan, Shalmar, Asha'ala, Yahweh, Ashamarka, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yunka, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yatka, Wairak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, McCall, Rai, Yashamar, Atmapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Bohuafka, Naita, Wai, Iwala. What we just said was, in the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al Dami Alaka, Al Takarash, Wa Al Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, Al Yedika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yariyamwa, Sabada, Waita, Yahazawa, Al Tazaponika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Makakidim, Magoya, Wa'a, Yazakar, Shem Yasha'ala, Abda, Kaya, Nawa Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alika, Bariath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Yashama Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wam1, Wamalak, Palashah, Amshabia, Tazabor, Gamashabor, Nalawab, Imam, Haiwa, Zorawai, Labani Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kabayim, Sara'ah, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayemin, Manakal, Koyashwan, Mashamarwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shaidamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Raza'aba, Razabak, Gazormanai, Kal, Messiakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayabrasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shaidamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka'ah, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Hariyam, Kun, Daradama, Basairaka, Babasa, Wapafka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayakwashwa, Shimka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ayai, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadawa, Kayata, Shimka, Yahawa, Labaka, Aliwan, Alcohol, Harlatsa. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They have consulted Salakia, and consulted Salakia. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. So also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Yusam, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, made their numbers like a Reb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all the princes, as Zabah, and as Almunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as fire burneth the wood, and as flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all earth. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakta Yahweh, Wayahweh Shai, Wamiaka Allah, Walahayim, Madazab Yah, Halawap Yahana, Halawapim, Asaranyim, Hakadizayoyin, Hakayayoyin, Wahak Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water among. Now in the English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. right, you may be seated. All right, for anybody who's just now tuning in, oops, I can fix this real quick. All right. All right, so we're going to be going over the book of Exodus, chapter 37, verse 20. All right, we're almost done with Exodus, y'all. We're almost there. By next class, actually. Almost. We're almost to Leviticus. But I want to highlight real quick, this is an excellent example of, if you ever bump into those people that likes to say, I read the Bible from front and back. I know everything. Excuse my language. No, the hell you didn't. If you did, you skimmed it. You didn't proofread anything. You didn't cite your verses or anything like that. You probably didn't really get any understanding of it. This is a real in-depth breakdown of the Bible all the way from Genesis to Revelation. We just went through 2 books. We're almost to Leviticus. We still in front of it. Let me show y'all real quick. Right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. This portion right here, that's how much we got done since we've been doing Sabbath service. This is how much we need to go through. Okay? There's a lot in here. Trust me. I'm still learning things as I go. But with that being said, I'm gonna get this on with. So we're gonna go to the book of Exodus, chapter 37. We're gonna do 37 and 20 to 37 and 26 in the Hebrew. All right, so this is the book of Exodus, chapter 37, verse 20. Waba manra arabai gabaayim masha kwadawam kapath ra'a wago kaya wama pathar thakath shanya hakwanyam mamana waba pathar thakath shanya hakwanyam mamana waba pathar thakath shanya hakwanyam mamanya la shashath hakwanyam hawataza yaum mamanya kapathar yaum wakwanathum mamana hayawa kala'a ma kwasha akath zahab tayar waya aish af nara fayum shabai wamala kwa kaya wama kaf faya'a zahab tahar let's see, kakar zahab tayar aisha atha wayath ka'al kalaya wayaish af mazakath hakwatarath atazaya shatayum ama arabaya wama'a rakabaya rabai wamathayum kwamathya mamanya haya para nathaya, last verse. Where taza'an athya zahab ta'ar ath gagar so gagaya wayath kwarathya sabayab wayath kwaranathya Waya Aish, Laya, Za'ar, Zahab, Ta Ba'ab. All right. So that's the first 7 verses. So book of Exodus, chapter 37, verse 20 in English. And in the candlestick were 4 bowls made like almonds, his knops and his flowers. So just like a brief recap, we're still going over, if anybody tuned in last class, still going over how the Lord wants the sanctuary to be built. So just a lot of, still a lot of instructions, right? And then verse 21, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches, according going out of it. Their knobs and their branches were of the same. All of it was beaten work of pure gold. And he made him 7 lamps and his snuffers and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it, and all the vessels thereof. And he made the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was cubit, and the breadth of it a cubit. It was four. It was 4 square, and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with pure gold, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about, and the horns of it. Also he made onto it a crown of gold round about it. All right, so we're going to continue. So now we're going to do 27 to 38 and 4. Book of Exodus, chapter 37, verse 27. Washathia ta ka'aith zahab aisha'a laya matha ka'ath lazar'ai lazaya il shathia tazala'ai thaya il shanya tazadaya lab lab labathia labadium lashayath athya kahab waya aish ath hakadash itazaya shatayam waya tazaan atham zahab wa aish ath shaman amashaka'a quadash wayath Quatarath, Hasamayath, Ta Hayar, Maisha, Rakfa'ak. All right, so now we are in chapter 38. So Exodus chapter 38, verse 1. Wa'aish Ath, Maza Ka'ak, Ha'ayla, Itazaya, Shatayam, Kamash, Amayam, Arabia, Waka Ma'ash, Amayaf, Rakabaya, Raba'ai, Washalash, Amayaf, Quamathia, Wa'aish, Koranathia, Il, Arakai, Tanyathia, Mamanya, Hayawa, Koranathia, Wayatazaan, Athia, Nakashaf, Wa'aish Af, Ka'al Ya, Hamaza Ka'ath, Af, Hasarath, Wa'af, Hawa'ayim, Wa'af, Hamaza Rakwa'af, Af, Hamazalaga'af, Wa'af, Hamaka'af, Ka'al, Kalaya, Aisha'a, Nakashaf. Let's see, Nakashaf. All right, last verse. Wa'aish, see, Wa'aish, Lamaza Ka'af, Mabakar, Ma'aisha, Rashaf, Nakashaf, Thakaf, Kara'a, Mala Ma'ai, Id, Katazah. All right. So it's book Exodus chapter 37, verse 27. And he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it, under the 2 sides thereof, to be places for the staves to bear it withal. And he made the staves of shittim wood and overlaid them with gold. And he made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices according to the work of the apothecary. So this is now, we are officially in chapter 38. And he made the altar of burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits breadth thereof, and it was 80 cubits the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all of the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shovels and the basins, and the flesh hooks and the fire pans and the vessels thereof made he of brass. Last verse. He made for the altar a brazen grate of network under the compass thereof beneath unto the midst of it. Okay, as we stated before, which y'all probably heard me say before, everything is here done for a reason. The altar, right? Just a quick recap. I'm not going to be too long-winded. The altar is supposed to be holy. We already know this: holy congregation, holy temple, so on and so forth, right? Get somebody, just so like, y'all tracking, right? What is something that you cannot do to an altar? Somebody just give me an example. What is something you cannot do to an altar? Keep in mind, holy altar, right? Anybody just give me an example? You don't even know. You could give me a precept. You don't have to, but I just want somebody to give me an example of what cannot be done to an altar. Anybody got anything? Somebody give me an example. Yeah, come on, y'all. Just brainstorm. Give me an example of something that you cannot do to an altar, or what an altar should not be used for. Give me some examples. Come on now, we ain't gonna move on till somebody give me something. Nobody has any examples. Okay, I'm a little shocked. Okay. So, okay, I'll make it a little easier for you then. Can you be unclean at the altar? Yes or no? Simple question. Let's see. Okay, we cannot put unclean animals on it. Okay, so now there we go. Okay, so yes, you cannot put unclean animals on it. For sisters, yes, actually, that's true. If anybody didn't already know, for the altars for priests to teach, who could be a priest? It's a brother, right? Got to be an Israelite brother, mind you, right? Sisters are not allowed to teach at the altar. All right. So only brothers, only anointed brothers are allowed to be up there, right? Meaning if you come in, you a young man, you're not allowed on the altar either. If you're a trooper, unless you are called up, let's say like it's a high holy day and like, a brother needs you to read or something like that, then, you can come up, right? But you are not permitted to teach, which means you are not allowed to be on the altar as well. And I asked the question, can you be unclean at the altar? A few of the sisters said no, right? Why? We all grown in here, so I'll just give it to you straight. Brother, you just had sex with your rib the other day. Sundown, sundown, let's say sundown happened at 7:50. Y'all got intimate at 8 o'clock. Can you teach the next day? Women can't be on your flower. That's a good one. Okay, so that's not necessarily for the altar. I'm glad you brought that up, sis. It's not necessarily for the altar because sisters are not allowed at the altar. However, sisters cannot attend class or be at the temple because she is now unclean, right? So thank you for sharing that because that's something important for sisters to know. So if you are on your flower, you can attend class online, but you can't come into the school. That makes sense, right? And I asked the question, la why? Because you're unclean, right? Now let's brainstorm a little bit. What is the significance of being unclean? If you're unclean, get y'all thinking real quick. Okay, let's play off that. You're a brother. Okay, you got intimate with your woman after sunset. Now you teach it. Not only are you unclean, okay, let's just talk real quick. Akim, and just be real. What may be going through your mind at that moment as you're teaching? Let me see if y'all understand where I'm going with this. What may be going through your mind? Unlawful. Okay, unlawful thoughts. Okay, not. I mean, I hope you don't have any unlawful thoughts. Not necessarily unlawful thoughts, but like you're kind of going in the right direction though. So let's stay on the subject. Y'all were intimate past sunset. Now you're teaching. What might still be fresh on your mind? Let's see. The Holy Spirit can't dwell in an unclean vessel. Absolutely. Probably thinking about how. Yeah. Hey, look, just give it to you straight, right, brother? You still might be thinking about you had a good time. Yeah, the relations. Yes. Okay. Y'all. Okay. Y'all with me? Good. All correct answers, by the way. You might still be thinking about you know the relations that you had. Now, if you're still thinking of that in your teaching, I don't want to. Okay, I'll just give it to you. You're not focused, right? When you're not focused, that can be dangerous. Now, I'm talking about the altar, right? That's you already defiling the temple with that, right? Shalom Mordecai, sorry. You already defiling the temple, right? Guess what? Let's say you go to camp. You at camp, you holding shamar for a brother who's speaking. If you still thinking about last night, are you focused on the task at hand? Probably not. Okay. Now, if you're not focused on the task at hand, guess what? You can be compromised. I'm over here, la di da di da. There's a brother right here. He's speaking at the other brother. He's holding the Bible. He's reading for him. I'm not paying attention. I'm thinking of whatever. Some idiot comes over with a weapon. Now I'm the first. This is my zone right here, right? I'm supposed to guard this area. I'm looking over here in La Di Da land. This idiot come over with a weapon. I'm supposed to be the first line of defense and see, and alert the brothers like, hey, like watch him, right? Can't do that if I'm not focused. And what could happen? That person can come up and harm me. That person can come and harm the priest that's speaking. That person can come and harm the brother that's reading for him. We also don't know what kind of weapon he has. He might have a knife. Somebody might get stabbed. He might have a gun. All right. He might shoot somebody. Right. And I could have stopped that by alerting the brothers. Right. But guess what? I'm too busy thinking of something else. I'm unclean. Right. Also, when you're unclean, you make the congregation unclean. Right. If you're teaching at the altar, guess what? Whole congregation unclean. You're unclean. Everybody up in there unclean. Now, whatever spirits I got on me, now it's on you. That's why those brothers who have been in the school long enough, we do this thing where it's like, it's like I don't want, I'm unclean when we give the salute, right? Why? Because I don't want to make that brother unclean, right? You're not in sin necessarily, like you're not in sin. But let's say I know a brother got to teach, I might not be teaching, right? Let's say I don't know, it's like five. let's say, okay, you're unclean before sunset, right? You're unclean until the even, meaning the following sunset, right? Let's say class starts at 7:30. Let's just say hypothetically that's sunset, right? But it's 5:50, right? You're still unclean. Now, when that time comes, you're not, you're clean again. Make sure, you wash yourself, stuff like that, when you're clean again. But that brother got to get ready for class. He has to go to the altar. He has to make sure everything is ready. It's a high holy day. I can't salute that brother, right? Why? Because I'm unclean. I'm gonna make him unclean. If he's unclean and he goes up to that altar, guess what? That altar's unclean. Now I just put that brother in sin. You see? So that's why it's very important to just know things like that. Just wanted to give that example. So let's see, we're gonna go. Actually, we're finished with that one. So now we're gonna go. But I hope everybody understands. Let's see. Would a good wife tell her husband no? Okay, let's see. Would a good wife tell her husband no if he was not thinking about the time and he wanted relations with her? Of course, not in a disrespectful way. Okay. If I'm reading your question properly, okay, you and your husband got to teach tomorrow, and it's past the time, right? He may not be thinking of it, and you might tell him, no, that is being a good wife. Yeah, no, because one, that shows you're not being selfish. You're thinking of him. You're letting him know, like, sorry, babe, like, I know you got to teach tomorrow. I know you got to be clean. Maybe he forgot, you know? Maybe he forgot at the moment. And you just remind him, well, we probably shouldn't do this right now because you got to be clean for tomorrow. Yes, you are being a good wife. That, yeah. I know, like, in class we've talked about before, it's like consummating a marriage, right? It's continuous consummating of the marriage, right? And it's really not good to withhold your body from your person, so to speak. That is not what's going on right now. That is actually you're doing your husband a service by saying no in that moment. Don't worry, y'all be back later, but he needs to go take care of his duties. You're taking care of him. That is respectable. Yes, you are definitely not a bad wife if you're doing that. Just so everybody knows that, right? So that's a good question. Let's see. So we'll continue. We're gonna go 38 and 5. Exodus 38 and 5 to 38 and 11, right? So it's Exodus chapter 38, verse what we at? 5. Okay. Okay. Wayatazak Arabai Tabayeth Barabai Hakwa Tazayaf Lama Babar Hanya Kasha'af Kathayam Laba Labadayim Wayaish Af Hamadayam Itazaya Shatayam Wayatazaan Atham Nakashaf Wayaba'a Af Habadayim Ba'aith Io Tazala'aith Hama Zaba'ak Lashaf Afya Ba'a Nabayab Lakath Aisha Athaya Waya Aish Af Haba'ar Nakashaf Wa'ath Manya Nakashaf Kamarath Hatazaba'ath Ashar Tazaba'ah Pathak Ahal Mara'id Waya Aish Af Hakatazar Lapath Nagab Tha Manya Kwala'ai Hakatazar Shash Mashazar Ma'a Ma'a Imadyam Aisharam Wadan Na'am Aisharyam Naka Sha'ath Wa'am Madyam Hakasha Kwa Ya'am
Wala pa'ath, taza pa'a, ma'a, ba ma'ai, I madyam, Aisha, oh, sorry, the last verse. Asharam, Hadanya Aisharam, Nakashath, Waya, Hama Idyam, Yakashakwayam, Hatam.
All right. So, book of Exodus, chapter 38, verse 5. And he cast four rings for the four ends of the great brass to places there, to places for the staves. And he made the staves of shittim wood and overlaid it with brass. And he put the staves into the rings of the sides of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. And he made the laver of brass and the foot of it brass of the looking glasses of the women assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he made the court on the south side southward. The hangings of the court were of fine twined linen and 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets were of silver. Last verse. And for the north side, the hanging were of 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets were brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. All right. Slakia, fair warning, there will be a lot of instructions, kind of like last class. Don't worry, we're going to get through it, y'all. All right, so just bear with me. All right, so I'm going to continue. Book of Exodus, chapter 38, verse 12 to 18. All right, this is Exodus 38 and 12 in Hebrew. Let's see. Wala pa'ath yum, kwala ayam, kamashayam. Let's see. Kama'a, I madyam, I shara, wa I dunyam, I shara, wa aya, I madyam, wa kasha kwa'am, katayam, wala pa'ath, kwadama, mazara ka'a, kamashim, hama'a, kwala ayam, kamash, I shara, ama al, hakathon, I let's see, Amadium, Shalasha'a, Wayadunyum, Shalasha'a, Walakathon, Ashanath, Maza'a, Wamaza'a, Lashayar, Hakatazor, Kwala Ayam, Kamash, Aishara, Ama, looks like Ama, Madium, Shalasha'a, Wayadunyum, Shalasha'a, Ka'o, Kwala Ayav, Hakatazor, Tamayam, Shashash, Mashazar, Wayadunyum, La'ai Madium, Nakashath, Wa Ya'a, Haimadium, Wayasha Ra'am, Kayam, Wataza Padya, Rashayam, Ka'am, let's see, Waham, Makashakwayam, Katayan, Ka'o, Aimadya, Hakatuzar, last verse, Wamata'am, Shayar, Hakatuzar, Maisha, Raquam, Thabal,
Thabalath, Rabba Gamayam, Gamaz, Salakia. Let's see. Watha La'ith, Shanya, Washishash, Mashazar, Waya Sharam, Ima, let's see, Arun, Wakwa Ma'a, Barakab, Kamash, Ma Amarath, La'aimath, Kuala Aya, Ha Katazar.
All right. So let's see. Shalom on Christ. All right. So we're gonna be going over the book of Exodus, chapter 38, verse 12 to 18. Let's see. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10 and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the east side, eastward 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. And for the other side of the court gate and his on this hand and that hand were hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. 16. All the hangings of the court round were of fine twined linen. 17. And let's see. Oh, here we go. And the sockets of the pillars were of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and overlaying of the chapiters of silver, and all the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. Last verse. And the hanging of the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, and 20 cubits was the length, and the height in the breadth. And the breadth was 5 cubits, unanswerable to the hanging of the court. Okay, so second. Yeah, okay. So we're going to be going over 38:19 to 38:25. So again, I'm just say right now, I understand these last few chapters that we've been going over. It's been a lot of instructions. And I know some you might be getting bored of hearing the same instructions over and over again. I understand, but just always keep in mind there's always something that you can take away from the Bible, and that is, things were set to be done a certain way for a certain reason, and you see what happens when people follow through, right? You see what happens when we follow the Most High, we do what He tells us to do, and you also see plenty of examples what happens when we do what the hell we want to do, and things don't work out for us when we do what we want to do, because then we end up in the hands of some heathen, and how we serving them. You get what I'm saying? So just bear with me. We're going to continue to read everything that we're reading. Just understand, hey, the Lord wanted them to do this for a reason, and they did it, right? They're building up the temple, they're building up the sanctuary, they're building up the tabernacles, and it's all done for a reason, all right? So with that being said, I'm going to go Exodus 38:19, 38:25 in the Hebrew. 1 second. All right, so this is 38:19. Let's see. Wa I Madium Ara Ba'ai. Let's see. Wayadunyam Ara Ba'ai Nakashaf Wayahab Katun Wataza Paya Rashayam Rakasha Kwayam Kalsi Katum Ibal Haratha Da'ath Lamashai Lamasha Lamasha Baaz Yalakatazar Sabayab Nakashath Allah Alaha Paradaya Hamad Shadaya Mashakaaz. It's like it. Haidath Ashar
Paquad, Io, Paya, Masha'a, Ibadath, Hala Ya'um, Kayad, Watha Ba'ar, Ka'az, Hara'un, Habahaz, Wa Batazala'al, Ka'un, let's see, Harayad, Ka'az, let's see, yeah, Harar, La Mata'ah, Wayahadya, Aisha, Ath, Kal, Ashar, Tazayath, Yahweh, Ath, Masha'ah, Wa'athya, Allah, Aholayab, Ka'az, Akayasamar, Saman, Lamata'ah, Daz, Karash, Wakashab, Raqua'um, Kathabalah, Yabaragaman, Wabatha La'ith, Kashanya, Wabashash, all Hazahab, Hazahab, Aishaya, Lama Laba'ah, Kabal, Malaba'ath, Hakorash, Wahaya, Sahab, Hathan Pa'ah, Thashai, Wa'ai Sharam, Kakar, Washa Ba'ai, Mayath, Washa Lashayam, Shakwal, Kashakwal, Hakorash, last verse, Waya Basun, Bakwa Adya, Ha'ida, Ma'af, Kakar, Waya La'un, Washa Ba'ai, Mayath, Waka Masha'ah, Washa Ba'ayim, Shakwal, Kashakwal, HaKorash. All right, that's it. All right, so it's the book of Exodus, chapter 38, verse 19 to 25. And their pillars were 4, and their sockets of brass 4, their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapiters and the fillets of silver, and all the pins of the tabernacle in the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted according to the commandment of Moses. Remember, this is the whole reason why they did this. Let's see, according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites. So just a little brief history real quick. Originally, the original priests were actually all Levites, but would be the so-called Haitians today. All right. As time went on, other brothers from different tribes became priests as well. Let's see. For the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, son to Aaron the priest. Verse 22, and Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Ur, and the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. Remember, Moses was, he was the one who was directly dealing with the Most High. He was relaying the messages to us. While Aaron was more so dealing with the nation of Israel. That makes sense. Verse 23, and he was with Aholib, son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and in scarlet and in fine linen. All the gold that was occupied for the work and all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,703 score and 15 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. All right, so let's see. So we got 14 more verses. So we got Exodus 38, 26 to 39 and 1. And then we got 39 and 2 to 39 and 8. So we're going to continue. Book of Exodus chapter 38, verse 26. In the Hebrew to 39 and 1. All right. Pakwa'ai laga law galaf makataziyaf hasha ko'o kwasha ko'o hakorash labo ha'ai bar io hapakwadayim. Let's see, ma ka'az ashayam. Let's see. Shana wa ma'ai la'a lashash ma ya'af alan washa lasha'af ala payaf haka ma'ash ma'yaf yakwa mashayam wayahaya ma'af kakar hakwa sa'an latazakwadaf sakit latazakwaf af hadanya, I said adanya, hakwarash wa'aif adanya haparaba'af ma'af adanyam ma'af kakar la kwada ladan wa'af hala'an washa ba'ai. Let's see. Hama yum wakwa masha'a washa ma'ayam aishayaf waya ayam la'ai mad yum wataza pa'a rasha yum wakwa shak thumb. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Wanakashaf hathan pa'a shama'ayam kar wala payaf waya bayai mayaf shakol wa'aish ka'a af adanya pathak ahol ma'aid wa'af maza ba'ak hanakashaf wa'af mabadya hanakashaf ashar laya wa'af kol ya hamaza ba'ak wa'af adanya ha katazar wa babaya see sabayab wa'af adanya let's see shayar hakatazar wa'af kol watharaf hamashaka'az wa'af all watharaf hakatazar Sabayab. Okay, last verse. This is 39 and 1. Let's see. Wamaz hathabala'af wa'a gamya watha yala'aif hashanya aishaya bagadya sharad lasharaf Kakorash, Waish, Af, Kagadia, Hakwarash, Salakia, Ashar, Laha Ra'an, Kashar, Tazayath, Yahweh, Af, Masha'ah. All right, so let's go 38, 26. A bekah for every man that is half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary for everyone that went to be numbered for 20 years, 20 years old upward for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of the silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of the 100 talents, a talent for a socket. Let's see, 28. And of the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks of the pillars and overlaid their chapiters and filleted them. Filleted. 29. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. Verse 30. And therewithin he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen gate for it, and all the vessels of the altar. Verse 31. And the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. Verse 30. Oh, sorry. Chapter 39, verse 1, last verse. And of the blue and purple and scarlet, they made cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord commanded Moses. Okay, so now we have the last 7 verses, 39 and 12 to 39 and 8. Shalom on Christ, Adawan. All right, so see 39 and 2 in the Hebrew to 39 and 8. Waya Aish Af, let's see, Hapad, Zahab, Thabalath, Haragamaz, Watha Yela'ith, Shadya, Washashash, Mashazar, Wayarakwaya, Af, Pakaya, Hazahab, Hakwatazai, Pathaya La'am, La'ai Shayam, Katha Ya'ar, Hatha Balaf, Waba Thayad, Hara Gamaz, Wayamathayan, Thayalaith, Hashanya, Wabathyaan, Hashashash, Ma'aisha, Kashab, Kathapath, Ashaya, Laya, Kabarath, Io, Shanya, Partazayathya, Kabar, Raka Sha'ab, Apadathya, Ashar, Ilaya, Manya, Hara, Bama Aishaya, Zahab, Thabalath, Wara Gaman, Wathala'ith, Shanya, Yashash, Mashazar, Ka'ashar, Tazayah, Yahweh, Af, Masha'ah, Waya Aishaya, Af, Abanya, Hasha'ab, Mataba'af, Mashaba'ith, Zahab, Mapathaka'ath, Pathayakia, Kayatham, Al, Mashayam, Kadya, Sha'ala, where Shum, Atham, Io, Kathapath. Let's see. Hagad, Abanya, Zakayam, Labanya, Sha'ala. Let's see. Kashar, Tazayah, Yahweh, Af, Masha'ah, where Aish, Af, Ha, Hakasha, Hakashun, Ma'aisha, Kashab, Ba Bama'aisha, Apad, Zahab, Thabalaf, where Ragamun, Watha La'ai, Shibya, Yashash, Mashazar, last verse, Raba'ai, Harya, Ka Pa'al, Aishaya, Af, Hakayan, oh, Hakashun, Zaraf, Ara by Ith. Let's see. Was a Rath, Raka Ma'af, Kagogla. Oh, that's it. All right. So it's the last 7 verses. Let's see. Exodus 38 and 39. Salakia. 39 and 2. And he made the ephod of gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. And he did beat the gold into thin plates and cut it into wires to work it in the blue and in the purple and the scarlet and in the fine linen with cunning work. So this is, again, making the garments, making a glorious garment for Aaron. And, you're just explaining the detail of this worksman who was, he was of the tribe of Judah. We go back a little bit. Also, like the tribe of Dan, the son of, he's with Ahalib, son of Asamak, the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning worksman. So just describing his work, and I mean, it's pretty good work. He done beat the gold in, turned it into wire, and now he's like interweaving it into the linen of the garment. So just showing, the skill of the brother. They made shoulder pieces for it to couple it together by the 2 edges, which it coupled together. In the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to the work thereof, gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Israel. Now, real quick, it's like a signet, right? Let me get this for you real quick. I'm going to give you the actual definition. So a signet, it's a seal, signet ring. That's all it is. It's a seal, right? Or a signet, like a signature. All right. Now, a lot of people have a problem. We keep talking about it. We have this, right? This is the Dawadah, which is David in the Hebrew, which David means what? Beloved. All right. That's all it is. Just a signet. They get this confused with the sigil of Baphomet, or as they know it as the Star of Satan. That was made to mock this. All right. This, I got to keep explaining this. People get confused when we wear this. They think, oh, you're worshiping an idol, or they think it's the star of Molech. The star is a ball of gas. I'm gonna leave it at that. This is not what a star looks like. This is not kindergarten. All right. That's all it is. It's a signet. You are not in sin for wearing the Dawadah. I'm gonna say it one time. You are not in sin for wearing the Dawadah. You're not worshiping an idol. You are not worshiping a graven image, first of all. I mean, think about it. Even your tribes, right? Tribe of Judah is what? A lion. Tribe of Benjamin is what? A wolf. All right? We have certain symbols, if you will, for our respective tribes.
If I got a, you can't see it, but I got a wolf on the back of my garment. Do I worship wolves? No. You can see the green screen right now. You can see the two lions' heads behind me. Do we worship lions? No. Okay, so if anybody ever tries to challenge you, there's been plenty of times in the Bible that we have had a signet, all right, or a symbol or that of such, and it is perfectly fine. And if that's the case, hit him with this. I think it was Priest Officer Thabawan. He brought this up like a few years ago. It was an excellent point. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all know that symbol on Nike, that swoosh, that check mark? Do you know where that's from? Shalom on Christ. Does anybody know that symbol on for Nike? Do you know where that's from? Anybody? If you don't know, you can say no. I'll be glad to tell you. But if anybody knows, just put it in the chat. Where does that symbol come from? I'll tell you right now. That's Greek. It's actually the Greek god of goddess Salakia of victory. Yeah, Greek goddess. That's what that is. Greek goddess of victory. So that's Grecian, right? Now let me ask y'all something. If you wear a pair of Nikes, are you in sin? Yes or no? Anybody's free to answer. If you wear a pair of Nikes, are you in sin? La'ah. Why? Why are you not in sin? Let's brainstorm real quick. Why are you not in sin? Mm-hmm. Why are you not in sin? I wear a pair of Nikes right now. I'm not in sin. Why? There you go. There you go. Plain and simple. Yep. Because we are not worshiping it. We are just simply wearing it. Yep. Yep. We don't worship. We don't worship shoes. You get me? We don't worship shoes. We damn sure don't worship no wannabe Grecian god. We're not Grecian. We're not European. We're not Edomites. We don't do anything like that, right? Puma. Puma has a puma on it. Do we worship pumas? No. All right. It's pretty plain and simple, right? So you having the Dawada on you, do we worship? We talk a lot about King David, right? Do we worship David? We're just wearing shoes, not worshiping the false God. Yeah, exactly. Do we worship David? We talk a lot about him, but do we worship him? La, exactly. We don't worship David. He's a well-respected man in the Bible, but we don't worship him. You get my point? It's just for Israel. That's all it is. Hell, matter of fact, even the name Israel, Israel, where did that come from? Jacob. We're Israelites, meaning we are the children, the descendants of Jacob. Do we worship Jacob? We're Israelites, but do we worship Jacob? For time's sake, y'all hitting it on the nose, by the way. All your answers are correct. Just give it to you. No, we don't worship Jacob, but we call ourselves Israelites. No, we worship the Most High. Okay? We come from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are all very well-respected men in the Bible. All right? We don't worship them, though. Just like the sisters. Abraham's wife, Sarah. Do we worship Sarah? No. We speak a lot about her and the great things that she did, but we don't worship her. All right? Who is it? Rebecca. Rebecca was Esau and Jacob's mother. Do we worship Rebecca? No, we don't worship her. She's respected. I mean, hey, she's the one that gamed Jacob up, told him to go see his father, you know. But do we worship? No. Do we worship Isaac? No, we don't worship a person. We worship the Most High. So if you have Israel on your back, in big letters, you're not in sin. But Christians, they don't. When I say Christians, I mean anybody who, outside of the truth, who thinks that they know the Bible, but they really don't, take it out of context, or they don't have a true understanding of it. They are going to think these things. they're gonna think, oh, you guys worship the star of Molech. Next time somebody says that mess, hit them with this. A star is a ball of gas. Give it to them straight. They're gonna try to argue around it, but just hit them with facts. A star is a ball of gas. The sun is a star. Y'all understand that, right? Big ball of gas. That's all it is. So I guess if I can't show y'all right now, but y'all know like the little sun emoji, like on like your phone and stuff. If I get the sun emoji and I slap it on my shirt, I guess I worship the star of Molech. I guess that's what happens. Don't believe in none of that nonsense. People are gonna try to deter you from the truth. They're gonna try to confuse you. Why? Because they're confused. They don't have true understanding. So they're gonna try to confound you with nonsense. Don't believe in none of that stuff. Okay? That's not what's going on right now. Same thing with Nike. Perfect example. I'll read you right now. Yes, it refers to the Greek goddess of victory. All right. And let's see, in Greek mythology, Nike was the winged goddess who personified victory in battle. I don't worship no winged goddess, but I do got a pair of Nikes. Okay. And that is okay. All right. Now, if you start worshiping the shoe, maybe you shouldn't be wearing Nikes. Now you're a little weird. A little weird. You say it. All right. Might want to go talk to your camp leader. All right. We'll call a brother because you won't. I don't know what you want. But that's what that is. I hope everybody has a understanding of this, right? Let's see. So yeah, we finished at 6. So again, don't think that you can't do that stuff, right? You can have a signet. So this is our signet. It's okay. All right. You're from whatever tribe you're from. You can have your respective tribe on there. I don't worship wolves. Okay. I have a wolf there. It's okay. All right. So let's finish up. The book Exodus chapter 38, 39, Salakia, verse 7. Let's see. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod that he should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. He made the breastplate of cunning work like the work of the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. Last verse, y'all. It was 4 square. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length of thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being double. Okay. So again, I know we're reading a lot of instructions. Don't worry, we're gonna get through it, y'all. Just bear with me. All right. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you're still honoring the Sabbath service. Y'all stuck it out this long and you're continuing. I want y'all to know, like, whenever you're able to make class, make class. However, you tune it into class. Like, I understand it's Saturday, y'all. It's Saturday. Some of y'all might be tired, but y'all have been logging on every time. All right. I'm letting you know it's not what I notice, it's what the Most High notices. Okay. And you're showing your spirit that you want to serve the Most High. And your efforts never go unnoticed. All right. That angel is over you right now, writing down everything that you've done. Like, yep, such and such has tuned in to Sabbath service at 10:10. All right, boom, done. Right? You're that much closer to the kingdom. Okay? Just don't think of it as something small, right? What you're doing is a glorious thing. It may seem simple to us, but a lot of people would not even do this. Just being honest, right? So, as usual, I want to say the water to everybody who has tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate the participation. With that, let's continue to push this truth out. Y'all see what's going on in the world. It's a lot of crazy things going on. We got to stay diligent, though. All right? Never lose focus. With that, shalom.